there is a powerful idea which is so relevant both to the parasha of the week as well as to the month of Av. And thankfully, we finally, both in Israel and Chutz La'aretz, on the same page. We know that in Chutz La'aretz it's now Matot Masei, a double parasha, and in Israel Masei, we finally today, the Shabbat, finishing the book of Bamidbar together, and after months of being on different pages, so to speak, we finally on the same page. And in the parasha of Masei, which is always read around Rosh Chodesh Av, we have a fascinating fact which to my mind goes to the heart of what the antidote to the challenges, the trials and tribulations, the tragedies and suffering of this month is all about. After all, there is only one yahrzeit mentioned in the entire Torah that we know the date that a person passed away, and it is mentioned in this week's parasha, Masei. Aharon HaKohen. It says explicitly that Aaron died on the first day of the 5th month in this week's parasha. He had died already in Parashat Pinchas, but we didn't have a date. Parashat Masei, when recounting all of the traveling, says that Aharon HaKohen passed away on the first day of the 5th month. Why is it so important to recall the life and legacy, the only yahrzeit in the Torah mentioned specifically in Parashat Masei? It seems that the Torah was already what the Chazal say, makdim trufa lamaka. They were already creating a solution, a cure to a sickness that would be down the line, already the solution to a problem. And of course, what is the great challenge? The great challenge is that the month of Av would become the saddest month in all of Jewish history. As it says, Mishenichnas Av Matim B'Simcha, the Mishnah says, the month of Av comes along, and it's a time, unfortunately, laden with tragedy, the destruction, incredibly, of both temples, both Batei Mikdash, and so much more. Yet, what is the antidote? What is the trufa, the healing to the makkah? As we know that in the second temple, the Chazal famously say that it was because of sinat chinam, because of an inability of people to get on together. The very cohesive fabric of society was broken through this inability to get on with each other. It seems that the antidote, that the Torah is already predetermining and telling us in advance in this week's parasha, at the beginning of the month of Av, the one person's life and legacy, which is critical in general, but specifically to be learned as we come into the saddest and most difficult time of the year, is that of Aharon HaKohen. Because ultimately, more than anything, Chazal see Aharon HaKohen as the great peacemaker. Moshe Rabbeinu, Torah Emet, Moshe Rabbeinu see Moshe as a person of justice, a person of truth. As it says in Masechet Sanhedrin and Daf Vav, page 6, it says, Yikov adin et ahar. Moshe was about justice, about truth. When it comes to truth, the truth and justice should uproot the mountain. And the Talmud continues to say, but Aharon, he's about Meisim Shalom, Ben Adam Lachavero. Aharon is all about peace. And we know that it says in Pirkei Avot, Hivei mitamidav shel Aaron, says he'll be like the students of Aaron, or Heiv Shalom or Odev Shalom. Aaron's life and legacy was about making peace. No one goes further than the Avot Rabbi Natan, the oldest commentary in Pirkei Avot, which says something I'm sure we're familiar with, that Aaron was a genius at making peace. His raison d'etre was going around and ensuring he never called people sinners. He always found the good in people and was able to bring people back on the straight and narrow, always making peace between people, going out of his way. If there was a dispute, Aaron would make peace. And if Moshe Rabbeinu was about truth, justice, and legislation, Aaron was about loving kindness, peace, and arbitration. Arbitrate between people. If people stand in their principles and can't get on with each other, don't legislate that. Arbitrate it. Find a way for people to get on together. And I think I want to say in conclusion that what we need perhaps more than anything today are these type of peacemakers. As we come to a time, such a difficult time, where we recall the challenges of sinat chinam, of the inability to get on with each other, we should all heed the tremendous example of Aharon HaKohen. And in all of our interpersonal relationships, always see it's not about who is right and legislating that. It is rather about arbitrating the different views, making peace, because ultimately what Hashem wants more than anything is not that we are right and we stand by our truths and principles, but rather that people are able to get on with each other. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov.